Welcome to another episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast. Excuse me while I just put my phone away, because we've got new rules here now where you can't have your phone seen or anything like that, which is all good. Okay, move the water bottle, Brooklyn, that's the way. So yes, as you can hear, I am driving, but don't worry, I'm completely hands-free and I am absolutely paying attention to the road. So what do I want to talk with you about today? Well, first off, I just want to say it's been a morning of ultimate superflow. So superflow is when you're in a state where you're just receiving insights, inspiration. In spiritual language, we'd call it even downloads. And you don't know where this energy comes from, and you don't know where these epiphanies come from, but they come, and you just know that they're meant for you and they're not meant for anybody else. And there's almost a compulsion and urgency to act on them. And that's exactly what happened to me. So what happened was last night I got off the phone from a girlfriend and I was just packing up and got inspired to do something. But guess what? This inspiration was not random. It didn't come just out of the blue as you may be imagining. Oh no. Because do you remember in a previous episode I was talking with you about the importance of asking to be shown things? So that's exactly what I did. Yesterday I was so excited because I got my Steph Pace planner out, and I thought, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to start working through this. Well, here's the thing, guess what? I love the planner. I mean, it's A4 size, it's on a gold or brass spiral binding thing, so I can turn the pages over and use both sides of the pages, and it's really big and heavy and bulky, and I love it, right? I know I got heaps of value from it. But I started to flip through the pages and familiarize myself with it, and I got overwhelmed. I just thought, oh my gosh, this is too much stuff. And then I started to think, this is not the way I would set it out, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, there was a section in there that had, business goals and things that you wanted to achieve. And I thought, what do I really want to focus on for next month? And I started doing my planning, but my planning was kind of all over the shop because I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. So it was like I'd start working on a section in the planner and then I'd swap to a different section, and I kind of knew that there was hanging over my head that I had to have this plan for the year or the quarter or something like that, and it just felt really clunky and really off, and I really couldn't align to it. But one of the things that I did want to do was add an additional income stream to the practice, and I wanted to bring in an extra $4,000 a month, right? So sounds like a random amount, but it's not. I spoke with my amazing bookkeeper he's just the best bookkeeper ever. If you're looking for a bookkeeper who can do everything remotely, you should definitely look him up. His name is George. He is from Pinnacle Bookkeeping and Accounting, and he's based in Essendon in Melbourne. He did like a couple of visits to my practice when I had a brick and mortar building, but now we just do everything via email, and it's just so easy, and it's been a game changer. And so he's on a retainer with me, and it just makes my life so much easier. I don't have to reconcile my Xero or anything. He does all of that, which is so good. Anyway, so there was that, and he said to me, well, what do you want to focus on next year? And I said to him, well, I really want to give my mum and my dog a better quality of life. And he said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, I want to be with them more. I want to spend more time with them. Like, I don't just want to be working and miss out on time with them. And although I've cut my work right back, I've been able to do that by having memberships and courses and things, but I've cut my one-to-one work right back. I want to cut it back even more, and I want to get more time back. And so he was saying, listen, if you want to achieve these goals, you need to bring in an extra $4,000 a month. Because I had in there things like how I want to take mum away on holiday and stuff like that. blah, blah, blah. So anyway, 4K, that's where the 4K a month came in. And so I thought, yeah, I'll write that down in my planner. So in one of the intentions or, goals for the month or the quarter or something, wherever it was that I put it, I said I wanted to bring in an extra 4K. And I remembered as I was writing that to ask for it to be shown to me how this 4K was coming. Now, I love journaling, as you know. I find it super powerful. Even stream of consciousness writing, super powerful. But I just quickly made a note in my other journal where I do my proper journaling. Please show me what I need to do to call in this extra 4K a month, right? Without doing really any extra work, and without it costing me any more time, and without it really costing me any more money, right? So I just wrote that down, and then I just got on with my day, right? Seriously, I was looking for a planner online, like a digital planner online, that I could use that would help me schedule all the tasks that I needed to do, and also map them out according to different projects and workflows and stuff like that. So I was playing around with Asana yesterday, which, I don't know, I just found it really clunky. I like the idea in Asana of being able to make different projects, and you can use a free Asana account for all of that. However, I also like to look at the diary and see what's on for the day. And I just found that I was going to overwhelm myself, because I don't know about you, but as soon as I see white space somewhere, my mind wants to fill it. It's that universal law of vacuum. As soon as there's an empty space, I want to fill it. Whether that is my mouth and I want to fill it with something savory, whether it is I've emptied out the linen cupboard or the Tupperware cupboard, I know 5 minutes later I'm going to be putting stuff in it again, right? Nothing in my world is ever empty for long. And as soon as I started filling out all the stuff for the different projects, I thought, oh my goodness, how is this going to look if I have all the tasks listed on one day? And it just felt like a lot. And the problem with Asana is you can't even see what's going to be your whole day. Like, you can only do it by project. Well, that's what I figured out anyway. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. But anyway, so I kind of did that, and then went for a drive down to Sorrento with Mum. So I drove her down to the back beach just so she could get out for a bit. Got her some lunch, and we just sat down there and we watched some of my friends' videos. It was like really good. Kim Ross did a video on anxiety and walking, and then Karen Curran did a video on some beautiful stuff around gratitude and connection, and it was really lovely. So I watched both of those, and then came home, and then it was just like a really relaxing night. And then after I got off the phone to my friend, all of a sudden I started like getting these little, when you get insights or downloads from source or from the universe, it reminds me of dominoes. You don't recognize the first domino. You might not even recognize the second domino. It's like a few little tiles need to click over, a few little dominoes need to fall before you realize, oh, I'm building flow here. This is happening. I'm getting the things that I need. So I was closing down all the tabs on my computer, and I saw this thing that inspired me, and then I thought, hey, I could do something like that. And so then I started researching, about whether or not I really could do something like that. And then the more I thought about it, the more the idea percolated, the more excited I got about it. I could barely sleep last night. I was so excited about this idea. And I got up early this morning. As much as Gabe wanted to have a little cuddle and a sleep in, I just couldn't, because I was too wound up with all my excitement and my enthusiasm. And what was I going to say? And so I got up this morning and I mapped the whole thing out. Now, I was probably sat in front of that computer for 8 till 12, I guess it was, maybe 8 till 12:30. So 4.5 hours. But I mapped out a whole course. I mapped out all the modules. I mapped out all the lessons. I wrote the sales page, the thank you page, the success page. I set it up in Thrivecart, so it's all ready to go. Now all I've got to do is like pop in the I want to do some videos, obviously, and some audio trainings. I've just got to go record those. But you know what? I'm not even worried about it because I'm so in flow. I know it's not going to take me long, and I know that the content is going to be that good, and I'm just trusting that what needs to be said will come through, and it will be high quality, and it will be very, very helpful and very, very useful for the people that need to hear it, read it, see it, do it, learn it. And so anyway, this is Superflow. So, you know, who does that? Sometimes people say to me, oh, you know, I get overwhelmed just watching you produce all this stuff. But the secret, it's not a secret, but the method, I guess, or the strategy, I guess, is to be able to recognize when you're in flow and allow yourself to go with that flow. So did I get breakfast this morning? No, I did not, because it wasn't in my world, it wasn't in my headspace to go and get breakfast. I just needed to sit down, and I had to purge all these good ideas and get it all out into something that was coherent and cogent and beautiful and soulful and powerful, and just all of the things. And time just flew. Honestly, time just flew. But now I've done it, and it's done. And you know, I think that is what I wanted to share with you today. Like, try and recognize when you are in flow. And for me, the key to connecting with flow in the first place was asking for the guidance. So yesterday I wrote in my journal, you know, show me how I'm going to manifest this 4K extra a month. Show me how. Show me. And then I let it go, and I just trusted that it was going to happen. So I asked first, and then I allowed things to happen, and I allowed myself to tune in and take notice of what was going on, and I trusted that I was going to be shown. And hey, presto, guess what? Here we go, Brooklyn's manifesting again. And you can do it too. It is not hard, and the more you do it, the more quickly you get to create a super flow for yourself, and you get to create services and products and things like that for your private practice or your other business, if you are doing another business, or your life, or your goals, or whatever it is you're working on. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. And I guess too, kind of one of those big points that I wanted to share with you was, I was saying a moment ago about you've got to ask, allow, and trust, is I really want to just tap into that whole idea of allowing, because allowing, nothing's going to work for you if you're not ready to receive it. And there'll be so many blocks to your receiving. So sometimes clients will tell me, I don't know why I haven't been successful. I've done everything that you've said, but it's still not working. But when we dive a little bit deeper and we have one of those deeper conversations, what will come up is, well, I've been holding back actually because what if no one pays me? Or I've been holding back because what if no one enrolls? Or I've been holding back because what if I put this retreat out there and no one joins it, no one applies, or no one signs up? Or I've been holding back because what if I put myself out there and then I get fully booked, and that's going to take time away from my children and my partner and all these extra things, and it's going to mean more responsibility. So sometimes we have to think about, are we truly ready, and are we truly ready to allow the things that we want to manifest in our private practice and to manifest in our lives? And if you've been doing all of the things, and you feel like you've been doing all of the things in this worldly 3D reality, but you're not seeing any of the results yet, i.e. inquiries, i.e. referrals, i.e. sales, i.e. the income, i.e. the time freedom, like the control, the authority, whatever it is that's driving your practice at the moment, then it's highly likely that we've got something going on internally with you around a belief system. Okay, because the other thing too is, I believe, and I don't know if you believe it, I like to believe that most of you listening are like me. We share similar ideas about things, maybe not the same, but we share similar ideas and views around what's possible and potential and true potential and things like that, and quantum potential, and this whole idea that there's a collective consciousness, and within that collective consciousness there's also these fields of quantum potential where there's multiple versions of you living your best life, living your best private practice, working with your best private practice clients, making your best private practice income, doing your most powerful, potent, transformational work. It's all out there, and it's all happening simultaneously to what's happening here. I do believe that everything is energy, and we're all connected with energy. And you know what? In the version of you that already has the fully booked practice, if that's what it is, or already has the staff member or the team member that you want, or already has the time or the income level or the freedom level that you're wanting, that version of you is already out there. All you need to do is connect with that version of yourself energetically, right? And the other thing too is already you've got clients that you see here now, this week, next week, they're booked into the diary, they're here in the physical world, they're here in the physical reality. Those clients are already here, you're already working with them, but you are already previously energetically connected to them. And guess what? There's more clients coming, and they might not know it yet, and you might not know it yet, but they're coming because they're already energetically connected to you. So if you could just allow yourself to believe that that's the case, and you could allow yourself to trust that that's the case, and all those clients are there and they're just going to find you, and you can believe then that you don't have to go looking for clients, you don't have to go chasing your clients, you can take your foot off the accelerator, and all you need to do, all that's required of you, is for you just to be more of who you are. That's it. So that doesn't mean sitting down and pushing yourself to work, because it's a false belief that you have to work hard in order to achieve. That's false thinking. Like that's outdated. It may have worked in the past perhaps for some people, but we all know hardworking people who aren't successful or who haven't made it yet, or whatever. And we also know the contrary, people who have loads of time off who are successful. Do you know what I mean? Your success is not correlated to the effort that you put into your work. And as soon as you can start to really believe that and embody that, that's when everything's going to start to change for you. Because just like we want to harmonize the masculine energy of you actually like having some structure around your business, of course we need that. We also have to create space for the feminine. But at the end of the day, everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. So if you want to call in clients, it's just a matter of saying, hey everyone, I'm ready now, I've got space now. Hey everyone, I'm ready, I'm here, let's go. Because those clients are already yours, right? You can detach from the emotional angst of having to sell. You can detach from the emotional angst of having to pitch things, of having to feel like you're coercing or pushing or doing all of those things. You get to detach from that when you allow yourself to believe, hey, I'm already energetically connected to my clients, and I choose to trust. I allow myself to trust that these clients are going to come in. And they do. I mean, think about how you and I first connected, right? It was probably something really random. It was probably something really, really random, okay? So what probably happened was, I don't know, you're on your social one day and who knows, maybe one of my videos popped up and you're like, oh, who's this? What's she talking about? Da, 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 da. And there was something energetically that you felt attuned to, that you felt like, oh, she gets it, or oh, this is interesting, or something like that. And then you watched another video, or then you hit the follow button, or you hit the like button, or then you said, yeah, I will go and join her free group and find out more about what she does and who she is, right? But nothing's ever by random. We were already destined to meet. It's like your clients are already destined to meet. And you know this because as soon as I popped into your feed, or I popped into your podcast, or whatever it was, your inbox, or however it was that we first met, you would have had a moment there of recognition. There would have been a moment of, oh, this is exactly what I need, or yes, I agree with this, or yes, she thinks like me, or something like that. That's what I mean. Like, we were already energetically connected before everything happened in the physical world. So I want you to really take that on board, and maybe if you need to journal on it and ask yourself the question, which, by the way, if you don't have your podcast journal, hit pause, go and get it, come back. But you might want to ask yourself the question of, if I allowed myself to trust in what Brooklyn's saying, that my perfect for me clients are already out there and they're already lining up and they're already gathering, and all I have to do is just let them know that I'm here, then what would I be doing? How would I be showing up in my practice, right? Who are those clients? How am I showing up in my practice? What am I doing day to day? What am I not doing day to day? Who am I being more of? Who am I being less of? What am I doing more of? What am I doing less of? All the things, right? And it comes back to this one thing, which is just you being all of who you are. That's it. You don't even have to put energy into aligning with the version of you or anything like that. What if it was just automatic, that you automatically get to become this amazing version of you that just nails it in her business, right? What if that's just automatic? Like, it's just automatic for the trees to drop their leaves. It's automatic for the seasons to change. They don't have to think about it. It's automatic for, you to change through your life. You go from being a child to being an adolescent and all those changes. Like, it's just a natural progression. What if you allowed yourself to believe that it's just a natural progression for you to have a successful private practice? What then becomes available when you believe that? You allow yourself to play with that energy, write it down and see what comes through. And here's the thing, if you are sitting in front of your computer and you're saying, oh gosh, I don't know what to put on my social media today, I don't know what to put on this post today, and it's just feeling all heavy and everything, you're not being all of who you are, because that's an indication from within, that's an indication from your soul right there that something's off, something's not in alignment. You want to be doing something else. So go and do that something else. If it's like, I'm just driving home now from another massage. Right? And I'm still, like, you would think a massage would bring me down from a heightened state of flow. Oh no, I'm still up. And so that's why I thought, I can't wait until I get home. I'm just bursting at the seams to share all of this with you. And that's why I'm recording it now on the way home. It's just easier for me and it feels right for me. But when you're being all of yourself, like, I could have sat there today and said to myself, all right, well, I've mapped out this thing that I want to do, and I've made my sales page, my thank you page, my confirmation page. I've got it all set up, and I've mapped out all the course and all the lessons and all the things. And Now, if I could just sit here and make up a logo for it and make up my graphics for it and do all those things, but I wasn't in the mood. Then do you think those things are going to have the energy behind it of a high vibe, or is that energy that's behind it going to be magnetic, or is it going to be not magnetic? Like, people just kind of go blah. We don't want that. It's all about you always checking in with your soul or your heart or your higher self, or being intuitive with yourself and asking, what do I really need right now? What does my soul need me to do right now? Who does my soul need me to be right now? Where does my energy need to be right now? Things like that. And so for me, I did that work, and then I told myself, I'm going to finish now because I feel like finishing now. I know like 90% of this is done. It's just fun things that are left to do, which I can do next time I'm in the mood to do them. But what do I really feel like doing right now? And what I really felt like doing right now was going and having an hour massage. So that's what I did. And now I'm driving home, and I'm driving home in my favorite weather. It looks like the heavens are about to open up. It's just started to drizzle here very lightly. But I think, I'm home in just like 5 minutes. And then I would say maybe in the next half hour, there's going to be a really big storm. And when that happens, there's nowhere else I want to be than with my dog, Gabe, and just giving him a big cuddle and keeping him nice and warm, making sure he has a hot lunch. Actually, I would like a hot lunch too. Making sure he has a hot lunch, and just enjoying my time, because that fills me up. When I'm doing what my soul wants me to do, that's when everything works out for me. And so, these are just some little thoughts that I had while I was having my massage today that I really wanted to share with you, because you're amazing, and I want you to be able to see just how easy it is to unlock this for yourself as well. As I said, the way that I've been doing it is by asking to be shown. And you can ask to be shown in your journal. You can simply write down, show me what's next for me in my private practice, and then just do stream of consciousness writing. Or you could say, like me with my goal that I got from George, about the $4,000, was show me how I'm going to make this extra $4,000 without sacrificing time and without it costing me money, right? Feel free to borrow those journal prompts and use them for yourself. But you can ask to be shown with your journal. You could say it in prayer. You could say it in your mind. You could do a meditation where you drop down into your heart space, and you could go into your temple in your heart, and you could ask there for the guidance to come through. And you know what? Maybe you're going to hear it straight away. I didn't this time round. Usually I do. But this time it took me, I don't know, when did I write that in my journal? It must have been about lunchtime yesterday, and then all the dominoes started tipping over at about, 7 o'clock last night. 7 o'clock, between 7 and 8 last night. So it took a few hours, but the universe has to line things up, right? So it takes time to do that. But I still reckon 7 or 8 hours is pretty flippin' quick to get that kind of a download. And then once it happened, it's just a pull. Anyway, so that's another way that you can get it. I've shared with you a few ways that you can ask to be shown. And then it's just a matter of you trusting that the guidance is going to come, because it will. The guidance is going to come. Trust that it's going to come in a way that you recognize. So you could even ask to be shown and say, please show me in a way that will be recognizable to me, in a way that will be easy for me to see, recognize, understand, receive, what's next for me in my private practice, or what the next aligned action is, or what's required of me, or what the next goal is, or what the next step is, or what the answer is to this dilemma that I'm facing, right? So you've already got all of this available to you and accessible to you now. Okay, it's just a matter of you trusting that it's going to come through, trusting that you'll recognize it when it does, and also allowing yourself to receive it. And that even goes for little things, well, not little, but like if you even have supervision or mentoring or coaching or anything like that, and your supervisor or your mentor or your coach is giving you guidance about something that you've asked to be shown, then it's your responsibility to recognize that for what it is, take it on board and run with it, instead of fighting it. If you find yourself fighting the guidance that's coming through, because it can come through from those roles, from those professionals, from those people, like you don't know how this information is going to present itself to you. What if you want to be shown what you need to be focusing on for the next quarter, and your supervisor says, hey, I think maybe next quarter we should be focusing on getting you, more skills around managing your private practice or something like that. That's you being shown, right? But you have to allow it. You have to say, okay, I see it, I hear it, I'm going to receive it, and now what's the next action? What do I need to do from here? If you fight it and you're like, well, you know what, other people, I've heard conflicting things about whether or not I should be focusing on my private practice. So I'm just not gonna, if you're not gonna allow yourself to receive things, then we've got another problem there, which is about mindset and perhaps fear, perhaps you're worried about like what's going to happen if I do go and do this thing. Will that have some unwanted consequence for me on some level? Like, will it mean, I don't know, if I went and worked on my private practice and I did start to get more clients, as I said before in an example, does that mean then that I'm going to have less time with my family? Is it going to get harder for me to do school drop-offs and school pickups? Is my partner going to get upset that I'm even less available than I already am? Like things like that. It's all like super important, because if you have those fears, they're going to block you from allowing the guidance that you need to hear and that you need to take to come through and work on. So yeah, maybe you could have a little bit of a self-reflection there, and in your journal ask, am I truly allowing myself to receive this guidance right now? Am I aware of any blocks to receiving this guidance right now? How do I feel about acting on this guidance? What if it worked out for me? What would that look like? What would I lose? What would it cost me if this worked out for me? And what would I win? Like, what would I gain? How would I benefit? So, because there's going to be costs and benefits to everything, right? So maybe even unpacking it a little more deeply like that for yourself could be really helpful. And then, depending on what comes out, have a think about whether or not this is something that you want to share next time you have a session with your supervisor or your coach or your mentor. But at the end of the day, I firmly believe that your private practice success comes from the inside out. In fact, I believe that so much that I paid $825 to trademark that tagline, business success from the inside out, right? Because it's wholly and solely true. You have that blueprint within you. Nobody's practice is going to be like yours. This is why imposter syndrome does not exist, when you understand that and you allow yourself to trust that and you allow yourself to believe that. You and I could have had the same training from the same places, from the same people, read the same books, done the same exams, worked with the same clients, but your business is still going to be totally different from mine, because the energy you bring to it and your values and your beliefs and your personality and your quirks and your mannerisms and all the you-isms that you've got, right? Your purpose might be different to mine. So, there's no such thing as imposter syndrome. That just dissolves when you start to really trust and believe that, hey, I do know what I'm doing. I'm going to allow myself to be guided here by what's on my heart, by what's on my soul. Yeah. And where you need support, of course, you trust yourself to reach out to the people who are aligned with you in that moment to reach out to for support. That could be me or not. It could be somebody else. Doesn't matter. But it's a community, maybe even. But it's you knowing that it's safe for you to check in with people. Never for permission, never for that tick, nothing like that. No, and never for confirmation, but for support. Yep. Anywho, I just wanted to share these insights with you. As you can hear, I'm still like really full of energy at the moment, but I've just arrived home, so I'm going to go inside now. It looks like it's really going to come bucketing and thundering down here, and I want to go and cook Gabe hot lunch and give him a big cuddle and kiss and sit with him in front of the TV. He really likes watching MasterChef lately. We've got quite a big TV, and Gabe loves to, like, if Mum and I are talking, Gabe gets really put out by that, and he'll look at both of us and he'll roll his eyes and he'll go right up to the front of the TV screen and he'll sit right down in front of it and just watch it. It's like, I don't know, we're making too much noise and we're bothering him, so he likes to get right up to the front. So I've recorded some of the MasterChef episodes and I'll put them on replay this afternoon so he can watch them and keep him nice and happy. And yeah, I hope that you stay happy and healthy and well and have a really beautiful weekend. And yeah, something big is coming. Like I've just shared with you there, like it's just been so amazing and so exciting, and I can't wait to share it with you. I'm not doing social media on weekends anymore because I'm reclaiming my time and I'm trying to be like excellent at leading by example. So you'll have to wait till Monday, and I'll try and put a post up that just gives a little bit of a hint or a teaser about what it could be. I'm so excited about it though, because I know it's needed, and I know that you're going to be so thankful. You're going to say, oh my gosh, where was this 6 months ago? Oh my gosh, where was this 5 years ago? Oh my gosh, I wish that I had this before, you know. So I know that it's something that you're going to be dying to see, and you're going to be so happy that I made it for you. And I'm so happy that I made it for you as well. Anyway, have a really lovely weekend, and I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye.